Why don't we feature? I'm not overload, get wine. Some more, let the music take control. Close to me, I'm gonna take my time with your body, yeah.
All right, Lagos, welcome to the Mugis edition of Sports Cruise live from Milan 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. And I think we're starting the show this evening in a romantic way because, of course, the beautiful Super Falcons of Nigeria yesterday defeated Bʀᴜᴜ of South Africa in the semi-final clash to all but secure that final ticket. They would also be playing against the Atlas bet for everything that has to do with sports stories. Yes, earlier on today, as we also had Arsenal playing their first preseason game. Yes, of course, that was also against AC Milan, 1-0 eventually in favor of Arsenal, with Bukayo Saka getting the goal in that particular one. And guess what? For Arsenal fans, yes, all new signings for Arsenal, bar Victor Gyökeres, who is even yet to meet his new teammate, participated in that particular one. And yes, of course, you also know also that later today we'll be having the final of the Wafu B, under 20 boys by 6:30 p.m. That was more or less like 25 minutes before the start of that game. Yesterday as well, the Moroccan national team defeated the Black Queens of Ghana, I beg your pardon, via penalties, in order to also, set up a crunching date as well with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And yesterday also made it the second consecutive time that they will be participating in the final of the World Cup. Don't forget that that was back in 2022 as well. They were defeated in the final by the Bʀᴜᴜ of South Africa. We'll also talk about some transfer stories as well on the show. Just like what we mentioned as well, Victor Gyökeres, his deal at Arsenal has already been completed, but then there are still one or two add-ons, one or two delays that of course will definitely get sorted, as time goes on. And the big one, talking about Nigerian goalkeeper Maduka Okoye is now set to be banned, or should I say is going to be out of action for the next 2 months after involving himself in a lot of betting issues as well as scandals. Yesterday as well, the Lionesses of England made it their second successive Women Euros final after coming back from behind to defeat the Italian women national team in that one. Italy women were so close to the final, but 8 minutes before in extra time to send them to the final. And later today we'll be having the second semi-final of the Women Euros, talking about World Cup winners Spain up against Germany. That's going to be decided later this evening by 8 p.m. If you're just joining for the very first time and you're wondering whose voice this is, my name is Adetomwaban John Washigu, otherwise known as Agbetomi. And yes, there is ᴑᴜᴜ Akinode live in the studio. ᴑᴜᴜ, good evening to you.
Yeah, big evening. That they've got to redeem themselves. Sometimes you look at the level of disrespect that the Super Falcons have been facing of late. Bafana went on to win at the African Cup of Nations, but this time around, we've defeated the team that defeated us for the third place in Zambia.
Yeah,
we give them a thorough footballing lesson, and them in regular time. Some good level of football, no doubt about that. So for me, I think it's a season for the Super Falcons to celebrate, and I just hope that when the Super Eagles came second, at the last African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, where we lost the final, they gave them national honors, they gave them houses, they gave them everything. So I hope they're already.
Okay, why do you have an issue with awards being given to the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
No, that's the way.
They absolutely deserved it.
Okay, so the Falcons also will deserve it, because they play under the same rule. It's 11 against 11. It's yellow card for yellow, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they still are different.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
At least we've considered only one goal, not lost any match. So whatever it is that can make us celebrate and almost declare public holiday, and even give some of the Super Eagles players chieftaincy title in their villages, and then we give them houses in Abuja. I give them a national honor. I've never seen such celebration of mediocrity in my entire life. But since that is the standard, I hope the presidency, the Ministry of Sports, the National Sports Commission are getting ready to give the girls, even if they lose against Morocco
in the final.
Silver is silver. It has no gender. So if the Super Eagles collect silver against Ivory Coast, they are the host nation. And we can also excuse that the Super Falcons also lost to the host nation on Saturday, and they give the girls also MON. So the ones that already have MON, they are sure to show a lot of this one that already have MON in front of them.
MON already.
You either put EY at the back, making it money, or you change it from MON to OFR. So I've said it that they won't lose a single game. In fact, I thought they were not going to drop any points en route to winning this African Cup.
They didn't. They did against Algeria.
But against Algeria, we played a goal.
But that was more or less a game that was
already, right? So I was super solid. I was super confident that the Super Falcons would go all the way to the final. And no disrespect to Morocco, I watched that game
against Ghana.
One luck I've had all through this is that both the Euros and WAFCON played at the same time. So I've been privileged to watch the game between Senegal and South Africa.
Yes.
That was the same. The Atlas
Lions of Morocco are up against Ghana.
The Black Queens of Ghana. At the same time, England and Italy were playing. So I had my remote 7 minutes extra.
They went to penalties
again. They started the 120
extra time
at the same time.
Yes.
Although England eventually scored and won their game, but
Morocco and
Ghana went to the penalties, and then Ghana fluffed their lines by losing their penalties. But I think for me, more than anything else, is the manner at which the Super Falcons have conducted themselves this tournament.
Yeah.
Off the pitch, they've been so superb. And I went to visit the South African play tour. I saw Rashida Tajibadi, captain. I saw I saw Ashley Plumter. I saw all of them. And beautiful gesture. So I think off the pitch, they've also won themselves a lot of admiration. And the beautiful part is that a lot of Nigerians actually left Nigeria to go support those girls.
Yeah.
We're also in Morocco doing their stuff. But I think Nigerians have also come out to support these girls. So I like the transition. I know that this could be so maybe the next World Cup, they start packing that because we've got the.
But she's just 30.
Okay.
Oshola is just 30, or she says she's 30.
She's 30.
Okay.
Stop being relative. You are just a very bad.
No, I'm just saying.
She's 30.
She says she's 30.
Documents support that she's 30.
Yeah.
And then you can actually monitor her growth from under 20,
under 17, in fact.
Under 17, winning the Golden Boot at under 20, playing MVP, going all the way. While she was still playing for the Falconets.
Yes.
While she was still playing for the Flamingos. She was already getting invited to the Falconets. By then she was a full-fledged player in the Falconets. She was already starting for the Super Falcons. That is how solid our growth has been. I will respect that. But then, I think for me, the Super Falcons know what is at stake on Saturday.
Yeah.
Morocco are the host nation. They've done so well for themselves footballing wise.
Yeah.
Women's football at the club level on the continent of Africa, they're doing some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Male football at the club level, they're doing some amazing stuff.
National team as well.
They went all the way to the semi-final
of the World Cup.
FIFA World Cup.
The first time an African side to get.
I think they've got a lot of things going on for them in Morocco as we speak.
Yeah.
They've got developmental programs for the under 15, all of their kids. And the fact that they are always ready to stand into host tournaments
exactly.
shows that they've got facilities ready. They've hosted the WAFCON back to back. They're hosting the next one.
They also hosted the CAF under 20 AFCON as well.
They hosted the CAF under 20 AFCON where they've come in to stand in. And when other countries
meant to be Egypt.
Lost their hosting right. So and because they're also preparing themselves to submit a tripartite bid. That's
for the
2030 World Cup.
That's Morocco, Portugal, and Spain.
So I think they're also putting all of those in place so that they can tell the world that we're ready to host anything. But on Saturday, it's not going to be anything different. It's the Super Falcons. We're going for Morocco. But I don't see this Morocco stopping us. I watched that game against Ghana yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghana took the lead. Morocco equalized. And they literally played catch up to Ghana all through the game. Except in the second half of extra time where Ghana was really tired.
Exactly.
And for both of the teams were tired. They were just playing for the penalty.
Obviously. Because even Morocco heading to this one also play penalty extra time against Senegal.
So I think the Super Falcons know that it's a 90 or 120 minute thing. We're not doing that stress of that penalty. We're not doing that stuff. I will play against the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco. They will have the support. I'm sure the final is going to be played either in Rabat or Casablanca. They played that game yesterday against
Casablanca.
And it was a sold out stadium, almost 35,000 capacity. Everything has sea of reds on it.
And it was at night. It was at night.
It was a beautiful show of football. And it left me thinking that the gulf of class between African women football and European women football is so wide.
And huge.
I think this tournament actually exposed it. The fact that I'm watching England and Italy, and I'm watching Ghana
and maybe Morocco.
And if not that Morocco was the host nation, I'll have been watching a 55,000 capacity stadium.
Feel like
Botswana playing in an empty stadium.
I think the perfect example has to be South Africa versus Nigeria yesterday. Yes.
The only people in that stadium were Nigerians. You cannot tell me otherwise.
As a matter of fact, most of the Nigerians in that stadium were journalists. Journalists were occupying seats meant for fans.
Yeah, you can literally be hearing Nigerians speaking.
Yeah.
I could literally hear Aziza of Asna. You could literally hear their voices. That shows that we've got to support, but we're going to be playing against a team that is hosting, a team that is also good.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from Morocco. They've been solid. You're also playing against the fans, which are going to come out massive in that particular.
It's going to be a raucous atmosphere.
Just 3 teams have won the AFCON since this inauguration. It's a major final. And they will certainly want to make sure that the trophy does not leave Morocco. And that means the Super Falcons are up front. We've got quality.
We've actually got that. We've actually got that. Anyways, guys, yes, of course, we are streaming on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Just go on Facebook or YouTube and search for us at Milan 98.3 FM. I could also take a listen to us via our website. That's www.milanfm.com, or maybe you want to listen via your 1004 to make your inputs or your contributions about all the things we'll be talking about. And if you want to do that as well via WhatsApp, either calls or messages, it is 0913-6000-430. Yes. Some form of inside information. Okoyemi has been quite moody throughout the day, but we're better to get your mood uplifted, if not on the sport show. But Okoyemi, let's see between the Super Falcons of Nigeria as well as the banner of South Africa. She said it was Morocco versus Nigeria, and it was at night.
They defeated us.
They defeated us in the last time we met. Exactly. Now, Moroccan fans exactly started making use of lasers when the WAFCON is concerned, talking about the 2024 WAFCON. Most of Morocco games have been played at night. And don't forget as well that the WAFCON is right there in Morocco. Now, do you feel like Morocco perhaps have some form of psychological advantage heading into the final on Sunday against Super Falcons of Nigeria?
Well, psychological advantage.
Yeah.
That's relative.
Okay.
It depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. Just a few minutes ago, I talked about the fact that they've got everything going for them. They've got beautiful organization.
Yeah.
They made back-to-back semi-finals. They're hosting. They've got the fans.
Yeah.
They've got the support of everything. They've had a beautiful tournament.
So far.
Still unbeaten as well.
They also finished top of their group.
Exactly. So not so much separates us with them in terms of how this tournament had gone on. But definitely, we came fourth the last time out. And I'm sure that people know that except the people that have the mindset of celebrating a gold in silver, it's either good or nothing. That is the status that we should be in football history, and then we have it. So it's a game of history versus revolution, exactly. The Super Falcons want to cement their place in history as one of the most decorated national team in the world and the most decorated on the continent of Africa. And Morocco are also coming out and say, you know what, on Abioteka, and then we are the new ones.
We are the new
guys.
guys, new cars.
And we're not going to take it easy with you. So it's a game of, like I said, history versus revolution. Oh, we are the history makers. We've won it 9 out of 11 times. Even the 2 inaugural, all of that. So we've gone through the process. Yes, we deserve to be here. We've got solid players, players that are playing at the top level. You look at Asia Tushola, the most decorated female African footballer in history, 2 Champions League. She's won the Spanish La Liga 2 times. Won the highest goal scorer. She won the FA Cup with Arsenal. Played for Liverpool and Arsenal the same season. Played in the Chinese league as well. She's done everything. She's won 6 African Footballer of the Year. And nobody comes close. Nobody comes close.
In Africa.
So I think we have people like that. We have Rasheedat Ajibade as well. One of the best players for Atletico Feminine for 3 straight seasons before. She got into the market. And I like the PR that CAF are doing for her.
Yeah.
Nigeria,
but she doesn't deserve it.
See, anything that comes to Nigeria, we deserve it. As long as it's shared between Nigeria.
Okay.
I think Aṣlì Plumtree had done a good job.
Yeah, on the left side.
Against Botswana.
Against Botswana.
To be player of the match. I think our win against she was supposed to be player of the tournament.
Or maybe Osinachi Oale has also deserved a mention.
But for some weird reasons, both games they gave it to Rasheedat Ajibade. In our last match
against South Africa. What did Rasheedat Ajibade play to deserve?
They gave it to Rasheedat Ajibade. So first thing is she's clubless.
Okay.
Right? So you understand how the PR thing works. And see, enjoy
so,
it.
So does that mean that CAF is doing this intentionally?
Is it a bad thing?
No, I'm not. But
it is this continent has produced.
She wasn't the best player on the pitch yesterday.
But if the people felt like she deserved it,
who are the people? Who are the technical advisors
you're a footballer. You are streaming match on your phone, on your black and white phone.
Okay.
Somebody's in the stadium. She's looking at her move. She's looking at her assist.
Okay.
She's looking at her goal creation. She's looking at how she's able to attract players to herself. How she's moving the team forward. How she's carrying out her roles as the leader, as the captain of the team. Penalty no be goal.
Yeah, it's a goal.
If the Trezeguet had scored the 2006 penalty, Italy will not win the World Cup. And if CAF decide to use this AFCON, to run a PR for Rasheedat Ajibade, and at the end of AFCON, she gets signed to the WSL. I want a lot of them to play in the Premier League, the Women's Soccer League. If Falcons want to play,
they had those pictures in less than 3 months than Paris FC has done in the last 4 or 5 years.
Of course, they knocked out Arsenal over both legs in the qualifier to get to the group stage of the FA Champions League for women. So I think we've got top-notch quality in our ranks. I mean, big players. Aṣlì Plumtree, she's doing some amazing stuff in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I think it's going to be about which of the team has history on their side. The revolution is coming from Morocco, and history wants to be cemented by the Super Falcons. The girls know what every single support them when they play. We still love them regardless. National team and the US men's national team. The US men's national team have never got into the quarterfinal stage of the FIFA World Cup, but the women have won it the most times after Germany. But get the thing when we defeated
that was Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire against South Africa in the final.
Côte d'Ivoire, South Africa.
No, Côte d'Ivoire.
Nigeria won.
Was it not? It was in South Africa now.
We defeated Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, yeah. No, I was thinking in the final,
we defeated them.
Yeah.
Was that not where Barnes became very popular? The guy that is Esther looked like Mopsy. Exactly.
So let's also leave it on that very quickly now. Information now reaching us now confirms that Marcus Rashford has now officially signed for Barcelona and is set to take Thierry Henry's number 14 shirt number. You choose to fill Okwemi for Marcus Rashford because as it stands, have to offload more players before they can even sign more players Okwemi. But then Rashford to Barcelona, what do you think about that?
Good deal. He wanted to move. He wanted out. I think on Saturday I was just doing some numbers and I just saw him so bad. So for his time at Manchester United, he played 420 and then you decided to throw him away, not even a testimonial game. This last season he was out on loan at Aston Villa. He was literally pushed out on loan at Aston Villa. He didn't get to play. And then you have strikers that your highest goal scorer as a striker has 6 goals, which was even a winger in Ahmad and 7 assists.
Yeah.
You had a striker that had 3 goals. Even the one that said he's not just a number 9, that is number 9.5. He had only 3 goals and 1 assist. And then
all through the season.
There's Rashford there that he decided not to use him. The same United and Rashford and Ruben Amorim. I think it's a lesson to football players that no matter how much you think a club idolizes you, you're as good as being useful to them. The moment they deem you,
surplus to requirements,
you're out and they treat you like they want to treat you. It was literally being hawked around.
Yeah,
and he had a good season at
even before Rashford. So let me call it shop. Even before Rashford got his move away from Manchester United, his jersey number 10 was taken away from him and given to Matheus Cunha.
When they brought in
Oilon took out number 9 jersey
while they were on summer break, and then they gave it to him. Unfortunately, the player they gave it to now,
he's not even living up to expectation.
Number 9 to number 6 and play as a central defender so that you know that he's a defensive striker for Manchester United.
But let me cut it short. So cut it short as well. Do you think Marcus Rashford is deserving of legendary status as Manchester United?
Yeah,
but
legend of
he won the Champions League.
The Champions League is not the league of your country.
But the Champions League is the biggest trophy you can win for a club.
The Champions League is not the league of your country.
Okwemi, the Champions League is the biggest European trophy.
So maybe we've watered down the word around with legendary.
That word.
Yeah, you look at people and like, oh, he's a legend. Oh, this one is a
legend. Kopama is the legend at Chelsea.
Especially when you don't have so much history around you. Don't disrespect everything Chelsea have done. Kopama is not a legend at Chelsea.
He is.
Kopama is a Chelsea player.
He's what is, but he just won the FIFA Club World Cup with Chelsea. Did he? All right, guys, 0936004, 0936041. I don't know if we want to definitely sing that into conversation. I will give you the calculate. Okay. The phone lines is buzzing at the moment. Let's get to pick some calls. 0936041. Yeah, welcome to the show. Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening to you. You're welcome.
I think it's James from Agbade Junction.
Yeah, welcome, Baba. How you doing now?
How are you doing?
I did, senior. What about you now?
Thank God, we bless God. Why we jump from politics to sports?
Yeah,
Why? Because that officiating, in fact, it got me irritated at the date against English player. In fact, that is something I cannot avoid. But when everybody was not just like expecting to see that penalty shoot out, and that just like two of them contending, not that people are to be sincere with you. I felt that the Italian side was robbed. So it's a nice game of football sometimes.
Thank you so much.
You feel like, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think I also agree. Let's get to pick some more calls. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Hello, Abato, good evening.
Baba, how far are you doing now?
I did find a player I agree to.
Baba. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think that was the only thing which you wanted to tell us. Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Hello, this is Eric on the line.
Good evening.
See your life. After you say no football.
Yes, it's one in Premier League. It's one in Premier League.
Wait, so I like I was saying, first off, let's close up the Rashford to Barcelona conversation. It's a well-deserved move. Barcelona definitely need some experience in that space. They want to retain their La Liga title, which is going to be tough this time around. I think the Real Madrid will get one additional, top-class player in Marcus Rashford. And you can't see, yes, everybody's got their moment, but from the moment he came up on that scene and he got his first 2 professional goals against Arsenal. Yes, his first 2 goals were...
It was a double.
It was a double in that game. That was his first Premier League start, and that was the start of it. He was explosive. During the COVID, he had, so much for social work that he was recognized, social work during COVID, providing food and all of that to communities. And that was his big season. And I think it was a player that flourished, under different managers, and he's been able to adapt to different formation. But under as Flick, I think it was on the issue of that club. You can play around. Oh, you can say this one is this one. Oh, this one is this one, and it's a bit dicey as such. But there's no way you tell me in this life that Kopama is a Chelsea legend. So you look at players that have done the Blues jersey, and you need to respect Chelsea, by the way. And I'm sure this is where the problem will start again. Chelsea is the most successful English club in the last century. In case we don't know what a century, a decade, a millennium is, let's break it down. Chelsea have won 21 major trophies in the last maybe 50 years. Good trophy available to be won at the club level, from the Conference League to the Europa League, to the Champions League, to the Club World Cup. So FIFA had even made it finish now. Say all the teams that have won the Club World Cup before,
and now FIFA Intercontinental Champions,
it to FIFA Intercontinental Champions. So the first ever Club World Cup ever awarded was won by Chelsea.
So what now makes you say
wear that badge for the next 4 years? The
more reason why I call Kopama a Chelsea legend. As a matter of fact, the current crop at Chelsea let me finish. The current crop of Chelsea players that won the FIFA Club World Cup with Chelsea are to be considered legends. As a matter of fact, they are on the same place with likes of the day.
I'm having a bad day. Don't make it worse. Don't make it worse. Really. Don't make it worse.
Let's pick some calls. Hello, good evening. Welcome. You're welcome.
This is Ambassador Muswa here.
You're welcome.
No matter how controversial are you or the democratic play, I still respect both of you when it comes to sports. I respect both of you. So no matter what, show stamina. You know that's why you are here on mainland. To me, why Chelsea fans? If I'm not Chelsea fan, this is what tell me. I'm doubting the final between Morocco and Nigeria because to me, the Falcons, the referee, the politics, Falcons need to be very careful, extraordinarily careful, because what the host nation can be in the final. I read my case on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish you that. Thank you so much. I wish you that. Okay, let's just pick this one last call before we now talk about the stories. Yes, welcome to the show. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
You're welcome. You're welcome to the show.
How can you still call Palmer a legend in Chelsea?
Both of Lampard and Didier.
Isn't the same space?
Nah, but I'm really supported in you. I'm telling you, I'm supported in you. I never said you to those things.
Thank you so much.
Don't go Palmer.
I got I'm disappointed in you.
Let's take some calls. Let's take some more calls. Yes, welcome to the show. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome.
You're calling.
You're welcome, You're welcome to the show.
Please, what is the situation of Victor Gyökeres?
Victor Gyökeres, don't worry now. They are actually trying to transport to make sure that the add-ons are all sorted. But we can confirm to you that Victor Gyökeres to us now is all but confirmed. In the next hours, you definitely, get the good news from Arsenal themselves. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, let's also leave. I know that he fired, for playing a role in his doping case. Yes, Wimbledon champion Jan has rehired Umberto Ferrer after Jan recently removed fitness coach Marco Appan. That the decision has been made in alignment with Yannick's management team as part of ongoing preparations for upcoming tournament, and that starts as well with immediate effect. The latest shake-up in Yannick Sinner's team began after he lost the Carlos Alcaraz were no longer working with him, and when Yannick Sinner went on to beat Alcaraz in the Wimbledon final, he didn't even have full-time trainer. That Nigeria's goalkeeper, in person of Maduka Okoye, is now set to miss the next 2 months of action due to illegal betting. Yes, according to news, Asha 4-year ban for sporting fraud. The controversy began back in 2024. That was on the 11th of March during the Serie A game between Udinese as well as Lazio. Okoye was booked for time wasting in the 64th minute with his team, with most of the activity, also tracing it back to him. But let me also come to you as well very quickly. I think for Maduka Okoye, his decline has been on the rise ever since the 2021 AFCON, when he was in goal, when the Super Eagles of Nigeria lost. Was perhaps the best goalkeeper in the Serie A as well last season, and then he was involved in betting scandals.
First off, I hope I hope he won.
Okay.
Because,
he obviously won because it was a yellow card. He said
it would be worse if they punish you for what you lost. Imagine losing money on bets and they are still suspending you. I mean, that's just on a light time. Yeah. We've always said it to bet responsibly. So don't bet on monies or with monies you cannot lose.
But footballers are not even allowed to bet.
So, I mean, that's in a standard society. Football players that are legends with your formula, with a very popular betting platform. But for me, I think he's lucky, very lucky. He's going to miss just a few games for his club sides. And I hope that when it comes back, he won't have lost his place. Because especially we know how Italian teams always operate. And there's always this subtle I can tell you that, you know what,
just go.
We will not register you, or we demote you to play with the under 20, or just leave the club with terminate your contract. And when we broke this story on this show, I remember somebody called us to say that why we always spreading negative stories about Nigerian players, and I said just keep your fingers crossed. And I really hate to be vindicated, but this is it. And it's a simple knowledge and it's a simple message to everyone out there. Lucky with Newcastle. Only 8 months, and he came back and he became a beast. Arguably one of Newcastle United's best players last season. Especially when Edia was able to push. As now, he can't train with any professional club side. He can't get involved in any professional game. He's not going to be reporting to his club training ground. Is for now. If he's lucky,
out of football. If
he's lucky, they'll give him.
Guys, let's quickly check. Other sports stories as well. Just like we mentioned, it's the Sports Cruise Live from 98.3 FM at the Sound of Lagos. Yes, earlier on today we had Arsenal getting a preseason win over AC Milan. Don't forget that AC Milan as well are getting the goal, and eventually the game also went down to penalties. You know how preseason game works. You know, after the end of the game, they also play penalties. You know, for one or two enjoyment. But one thing we were able to notice from that game was, first of all, it was the first trophy for Arsenal this season. Secondly, as well, we had new signings right outside the game. And all these players, except the likes of Christian Mosquera, who is just going to be joining up with the team, as well as maybe what's his name now, Victor Gyokeres, who is also set to join with the team, not being involved in that particular one. But there is one thing I got to know. And there's one thing I was able to bring out. There's also a certain Kai Havertz, who's not commissioned last season, more than any other player in the Europe top 8 leagues. What happens to Kai Havertz? Arsenal's highest goal scorer last season with 15 goals. So where does Kai Havertz stand in the Arsenal team ahead of next season? So it could be seen in a number 10 role.
Havertz's preferred position is number 10.
Okay.
And so if you have a depth finisher, maybe box 6 predator, and someone that can finish up goals.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need Kai Havertz to come through, because a lot of times you see Kai Havertz that's supposed to be the striker drop through, or they're able to bring in another, very assured attacking-minded player. It gives him variety. Yeah, Arsenal will play a lot of competition next season. They play the Champions League. They want to go a step further than they've done the last 3 seasons in the Premier League by wanting to compete at that level. They will also play the Carabao Cup. They play the FA Cup. So it's not going to be a case of just using regular players to play the cup games. It's not going to be leave then Dolman and then Nelson. They're not going to be the one that will play the cup games anymore. It's very clear Arsenal's Arteta's mission this season. Go for everything available. Don't say because you want to play
Champions League,
Borussia Dortmund on Wednesday, then you have FA Cup on Sunday.
You now to rest some players. You're not playing youngsters.
The ones you will register are no longer youngsters.
Yeah.
Arsenal often forgets that as a club with such history, sometimes their history seems to be eroding because it's been long.
Yeah.
Over 20 years, they've not won the Premier League. So, but then, how they've been able to retain their millions of followers, not be at the status of Arsenal, enjoy the luxury of loyal supporters. And you are celebrating the Carabao Cup. Yes, you are bigger than those clubs, but for now, they are bigger than you because they've got recent trophies. Yeah. The last time Arsenal won the league is going to be 6 seasons at the start of next season. And that was in
2020.
During COVID, 2020.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So now you have players that are starters in their regular clubs looking for opportunities to impress in cup games. And that is what the competition is about. Imagine Kepa, number 1 choice goalkeeper for Cali Cup games. Someone that was one of the best goalkeeper in the Premier League last season when he was in goal for Bournemouth. Yeah. So when you have competition in that side, imagine having Calafiori starting in Carabao Cup. Imagine having Ben White being a starter in Carabao Cup because they're sitting on your bench and using them for cup games. You're not going to have a Bukayo Saka that will play 53 games in a season and will burn out. So I think it's a balance, and I think Arsenal are in a good on paper, based on their last 3 years. On paper, I think they would be top favorite for the Premier League this season.
Let's just stay with Arsenal too as well. Just like what you said, you think they are top favorite for the Premier League this season, considering that they have squad depth now, are bringing in new players, the fact that they have experience and all of that. But what would you say Carabao Cup, Champions League, Premier League, and just like you said, Arsenal yet to win the Premier League in the last 20 years. They're also yet to win the Champions League. The last time they won the FA Cup was back in 2020. That was COVID year, and also it has also been a long time they won the Carabao Cup. Now FA Cup
record winners. They've also won the Premier League 13 times from the old era into the new era, but they've not won the Premier League in over 20 years, and that's a lot for the league of your country. So you have players that have come and trophy ever awarded because of the season they went unbeaten, 2003 season. But I mean, you look at the signings they've made. They brought in Noni Madueke from Chelsea. They brought in Nordgaard from Brentford. They brought in Sᴘᴏʀᴛ from Real Sociedad. They brought in Kepa on loan from Chelsea, but from Bournemouth. They brought in what's this defender from Valencia? Right Mosquera as well. There's also Gyökeres. They've been able to extend the contract for Gabriel Mangeles and Martin Lewis Kelly. Even Ethan Nwanery as well.
He has also signed a new contract.
Signed a new contract, long-term contract. So it looks like Andre Berta is doing a good job. That's the new sporting director. So they've got squad. They've got quality. Noni Madueke will probably not start. And Notgard will probably not have to sit on the bench. And that's crazy. Imagine having 105 million
on the bench.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's a place Arteta should be. That's
good problems to face.
Exactly. So everybody is eager to impress. Everybody is eager to get the job done. The ceiling for Arsenal will be to win the league because they've come close three times. 4 points 2 seasons ago, 4.3 seasons ago, 1.2 seasons ago, 10 points last season, which I think was so disappointing, by the way. But this time around, unfortunately for them again, there are teams that seems to be rising around them. Maybe some new takers. I'm not going to underrate Thomas Frank this season. I know that he will still bring in a couple of more players. I'm also not going to underrate Chelsea. Come on,
this
man.
season.
They've got solid addition to their side, which is going to be something for them to launch on. Enzo Maresca said it last cup. So they are coming into the season with renewed hope
as well as maybe confidence.
Renewed hope. You have to be careful. You're asking
definitely.
For. But they've got a lot going for them coming into the Premier League.
Premier League money now
because they have the Premier League and they want to defend it. Imagine winning the league. It's players, expensive players, quality materials that are certainly going to put them in a good place. Hey, don't forget about Manchester City. Nobody seems to be talking about
it. And they also signed back in January. They signed Omar Mamouche,
which I think is going to be a beast this new season. For Manchester United, well, they brought in Matheus Cunha.
One more.
Mbeumo alone got 20 goals. So I think they knew what they are lacking. Rashford has left. Garnacho is leaving as well. Johnny Evans and a couple. I'm sure Ruben Amorim will still bring it because you cannot tell me you want to win the Premier League with Andre Onana. So they've got to bring in a couple of more quality into their side. But would they be able to have season? They've been close 3 times. Hat-trick of second place finishes, and I think they've got it this time around. They've got quality squad.
Let's get to pick some calls, guys. Is it on 36004? Is it on 3600410? Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. You're welcome.
Okay, I greet you. This is Michael. This one, when you sit on the French these days, I don't understand you. See, you like say you don't finally give Agbatomi this controversial issue. Because I don't know, you totally off it on Agbatomi. Agbatomi, I don't understand you. When you call Kopama legend, by the time that guy leaves, you'll be like 4 or 5 years in Chelsea. Waiting, we won't call him. Like that, I've been waiting to call him. I don't know.
Tough. Really tough.
Really, people really need to watch out for.
Thank you.
Seem like Arsenal.
6004 yes, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening. My name is Gordon.
Welcome, Gordon. You're welcome to the show. Please go on.
Yes.
I
said that Arsenal have not worked back up. I think that's not work back up. Not that Arsenal have not worked back up.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Mr. Okoyemi, good evening, sir.
You're welcome.
This is Samuel calling from Kenya.
You're welcome. Please drop him your talk quickly.
Quickly. Let me talk about Arsenal. I think the dynamic of Premier League is different from other leagues. Current striker. I don't know if you can fact check me his record. I think you people can fact check me on the Manchester United striker. So how much did Manchester United bought him and what was his record? If you can remember, I think he was doing well in Italy before they bought him. So dynamic of the league is quite different from where he's coming from. So he just come in and just explode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thankfully, Arsenal has finally won a trophy this season. Hopefully, they'll get way more trophies. Being World Cup winners tonight. What exactly are your predictions? Don't forget the winner of tonight
came the Carabao Cup. Arsenal have not won it.
Yeah.
It was when it was the EFL
League
Cup. When it was the League Cup. And the last time Arsenal won this one was 96 to 87 and 1992 to 1993 season. Exactly. So it's going to be a big game tonight. The current world champion and UEFA, a German side that's I'm not even sure Germany would think they could get to this point.
Yeah.
Because they were beaten by
Switzerland. 5. I can't pick any more calls, guys. Don't worry, but then we'll be back as well. Same time, same station. 6 p.m. live from 98.3 FM. Our Sports Cross, your favorite radio dial. But for now, guys, thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.